Chapter 1. The Novel That Should Not Exist. Late at night, two best friends sat on the floor of a quiet apartment, surrounded by scattered snacks and the faint glow of a desk lamp. Qingyuan stretched lazily while flipping through the thick novel in his hands. Across from him, Zhao Mingyu leaned against the sofa, watching with mild curiosity. The book had been written by Qingyuan's cousin, and although it was supposed to be a historical fantasy story, something about it made both of them uneasy. In the novel, the setting was an ancient empire where certain men, known as gers, could bear children. The story followed two gers from a powerful generals who eventually married into the prestigious Marquis family. According to the plot, the two gers constantly fought each other because one of them was the illegitimate son of the family. Their rivalry was bitter and filled with jealousy. After their marriages into the Marquis household, things only became worse. Instead of living peacefully, the two gers behaved like villains in a tragic drama. They targeted a gentle battlefield doctor who had saved their husbands during war. The doctor was portrayed as innocent, kind, and endlessly patient, while the two gers were described as jealous and cruel. Qingyuan snorted in disbelief as he continued reading the exaggerated descriptions. Zhao Mingyu simply shook his head with a calm, unimpressed expression. Eventually the story reached its tragic conclusion. Their husbands became disgusted with them, the entire Marquis household turned against them, and both gers were thrown out of the residence. Alone and abandoned, they died miserable deaths. As if that was not enough, the emperor later accused their general family of treason and ordered the execution of the entire clan. Qingyuan lowered the book slowly and stared at Zhao Mingyu. "You know what the worst part is?" he said. Zhao Mingyu raised an eyebrow. Qingyuan flipped back a few pages and pointed to the character.
Descriptions. The two villains in the story were named Shen Qingyuan and Zhao Mingyu. For a moment, the room was silent. Then Zhao Mingyu sighed. "Your cousin clearly dislikes you." Shen Qingyuan groaned and threw the book onto the floor. "Why did he drag you into it too? Now we both look like terrible villains." Zhao Mingyu leaned forward and picked up the book again, flipping to the final chapter. As he read the ending, the air in the room suddenly felt strangely heavy. The final page of the novel seemed to shimmer faintly under the desk lamp. Shen Qingyuan frowned and reached out to turn the page. The moment his fingers touched the paper, a strange light burst from the book. Before either of them could react, the room disappeared into darkness. Chapter 2. Awakening on the Wedding Day. The first thing Shen Qingyuan heard was loud ceremonial drums and wedding music. When he opened his eyes, he saw red silk curtains, lanterns, and wedding decorations everywhere. He slowly sat up and looked down at his clothes. He was wearing bright red wedding robes. Shen Qingyuan froze. Oh no. Across the room, another groom lifted his head. Long silver hair fell over pale robes. It was Zhao Mingyu. They stared at each other in shock. After a moment, Qingyuan groaned. "Please tell me we are not inside that novel." Zhao Mingyu calmly looked around the room and sighed. "Unfortunately, we are." Shen Qingyuan fell back on the bed in disbelief. Of all the stories in the world, we ended up in the one where we die horribly. Zhao Mingyu walked to the window and looked outside. The courtyard was full of red banners and servants preparing for a wedding ceremony. He turned back. According to the timeline, this is our wedding day. Shen Qingyuan immediately remembered the plot. In the novel, the two gers from the general family married the wrong princes from the Marquis household. That mistake led to endless conflicts and their tragic deaths. Suddenly, the door opened and servants rushed inside. "Young masters, the Marquis princes have arrived. The ceremony will begin soon." The servants began fixing their robes. Shen Qingyuan and Zhao Mingyu exchanged a serious look. Qingyuan whispered, "If we follow the story, we're dead." Zhao Mingyu nodded calmly. "Then we change the story." Shen Qingyuan's eyes lit up. "You mean?" Zhao Mingyu finished the sentence quietly. "We switch husbands." Qingyuan grinned. Changing the marriage partners could alter the entire future. Outside, the wedding music grew louder. Shen Qingyuan stood up and adjusted his robe, while Zhao Mingyu calmly prepared to leave. Qingyuan smiled slightly and said, "Looks like we're rewriting fate." Zhao Mingyu nodded. "Let's survive this story." And with that decision, the two transmigrated gers walked toward the wedding hall, ready to change the destiny written in the novel. Neither the princes nor the servants realized that the original plot of the novel had already begun to collapse. Chapter 4. Strange Husbands. After the wedding, the princes quickly noticed something unusual about their new spouses. According to rumors, the gers from the general family were jealous and troublesome. Instead, Wei Minghao found Shen Qingyuan sitting on the floor surrounded by scrolls while drawing battlefield formations and eating snacks. When Wei Minghao asked about it, Qingyuan casually explained possible invasion routes and defense strategies. Wei Minghao was surprised by his intelligence. Meanwhile, Li Chen discovered Zhao Mingyu studying military texts and calmly analyzing political situations. The usually cold prince became quietly impressed. Both princes realized that their husbands were nothing like the foolish. The Emperor's Plot. As time passed, the Emperor secretly planned to eliminate both the general family and the Marquis family. Shen Qingyuan and Zhao Mingyu discovered the conspiracy while investigating court politics. Instead of confronting the emperor directly, they began collecting evidence and building alliances among loyal officials. Their calm planning slowly turned the emperor's own schemes against him. Chapter 9. Saving the General Family. The emperor eventually accused the general family of treason and prepared to execute them. In the original novel, this was the tragic end of the entire clan. But this time, Shen Qingyuan and Zhao Mingyu revealed the truth behind the false accusations. With the help of the princes, they exposed the corruption within the court and prevented the execution order from being carried out. The general family was saved, and the emperor's authority began to weaken.
We had no part in this.
Chapter 10. A New Fate. By the end of the year, the entire empire began to speak about the intelligence of the Marquis household's gers. Shen Qingyuan's clever humor and Zhao Mingyu's calm wisdom earned the respect of generals and ministers alike. Even the once suspicious princes had completely fallen in love with their unusual spouses. The tragic story written in the novel had already been rewritten. Instead of becoming villains who died miserably, Shen Qingyuan and Zhao Mingyu had become the most dangerous strategists in the empire. And the future of the kingdom was only beginning to change.
Season 2, The Next Generation Chaos ***. Chapter 1, The Famous Strategist's Sons ***. Years passed and peace slowly returned to the empire. Shen Qingyuan and Zhao Mingyu became legendary strategists who protected both the Marquis and general families. Their names were respected throughout the court. Eventually their families welcomed children. Shen Qingyuan's son Tianhao inherited his father's bold personality and sharp mind, while Zhao Mingyu's son Chenrui inherited his calm intelligence and quiet confidence. The two cousins grew up together and became inseparable friends. When they came of age, their father sent them to travel and study diplomacy in foreign kingdoms so they could gain experience in the wider world.
Give me a comment for next part. Thanks for watching.